Hello everybody, this is Kurt Wallace of Tie-Dyed Skies. I'm listening to my bagpipe music. That's not really how I talk. Welcome to Missouri. I've got more of a drawl. I am a Wallace, so I do like the Scottish. My son's name is William. I am splitting the shirt right now. We're going to fold a Phoenix shirt. I'm sure you saw the thumbnail on the beginning of the video. You may have seen a few of those shirts on our Facebook page, Tie-Dyed Skies. Anyway, I am going to divide this shirt in half. I've got a mark down here already at the lower half point. We're going to make a symmetrical shirt pattern. And there's probably an easier way to do that. I know Crispy does. I'm at 51, so that's 25 and a half. 25 and a half. Crispy does some on YouTube. There's a work day for me. We did have a 3-day weekend, and I guess the next Monday off too. Most of us for Labor Day. Anyway, so I've split it in half. Now I'm gonna pick it up by the points on the top layer only. I'm gonna draw that back towards me. That line on the front. Holding my fat belly. I'm looking inside the shirt. I need to adjust the camera, don't I? My apologies. You see me now? Grabbed up here by the collar, the two seams that run down the top of the shoulder, and I'm kissing them together. Gonna reach this little end, the opposite end of that, and I'm gonna just stick it right inside the other sleeve and match it up with that guy. Pull this other sleeve through. I'm going to try to match these marks. I didn't do a whole lot of bleed through there, but I can tell where some of my darker points are. Where the waterproof marker, or waterproof, it's not waterproof. It is a washable marker. It will wash out in the water. There's not a whole lot of wrinkles in here, but we're going to have to fix the ones that are in there. I'm going to grab my trusty aluminum rod here. Actually turn it, make sure you guys can still see me. Slip it inside the pocket. I'm going to slip this rod right up in between these 4 layers of fabric, in between the top 2 and the bottom 2, and just kind of wiggle it around. Try to get some of those bunches of material out of there. May have to work at it a bit. It's a lot easier to see with the light table. We've got some bunching going on in there. So I'm going to adjust my sleeve. Sometimes the sleeve will cause all that, and it is kind of woppy jawed up in here, not all lined up. So I'm going to try to get that seam on the bottom of the armpit pulled together. I'm going to straighten up this and grab a smaller knitting needle to slip up inside here and press that seam across the top shoulder, press it out and get those wrinkles out from up there. I'm going to try this fella again. It's not want to cooperate. It's important to have all the hems lined up together. It's just bunched up in there, folks. We'll get them out. got the worst of it out. I'm going to doodle on the shirt now. Got it folded in half. So the Phoenix has a set of wings that I'm going to draw on here. I'm going to draw for now. And I'm going to start with the top. You can draw your wings however you want. Something like that. If you want them more dramatic, you actually draw them all the way up here to the collar. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use this right here as a pivot point. And I'm going to grab my protractor. I'm just going to use it as a guide. I'm not going to use that for anything. So I am, from this point, I'm going to try to make wing tips every 10 degrees. And these aren't actually the tips, but you'll see. You'll see. And I'm just going to try to go out from there. And that's a very small wing, isn't it? We're actually going to make it all the way out to here. The Phoenix has some big wings, no? Ah, that's not Scottish. Like that. So now we're going to make lines coming out of that center point. I'm going to try to draw you guys a little bit closer in. I said I was going to stop that. Using that point, just going to draw some straight lines, and these are just a guide. You don't have to do all this. But I do it so I have good finished shape at the end. There's probably some fancy tapestry guys out there that could probably do this in a much better manner than I could. Teach me, oh wise one. So now I'm just going to start. I'm going to quit using that as a point per se. If you've ever looked at wings, they don't all start out from there. They come down from the arm. There's probably a better word for that. More scientific term. You like the way I roll my R's? That's what we do. So I'm going to have a body of a Phoenix somewhere up in here. Have it come down somewhat. I'm also going to have some flames down in here. I'm going to be lapping all the way up slowly to the bottom of the Phoenix. Not real intense. Most of the intensity is going to be right down in here. And I'm just trying to use this as a guide. Most of this area here I keep losing my signal out here. This is cellular service. It's Wi-Fi, but keep losing my signal or something, so it keeps cutting out. So we're gonna try to get working here. So we've got the layout here. Here's our Phoenix black. We're very, very dark. One trick I've been using on these, I take some little plastic dams out of some just readily available material. It's these plastic folders. I picked them up from the store, back to school sale, 25 cents a piece, but it's a good heavy metal plastic, and this is a little trick that I use with them. So I cut some of these strips out, about 3/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit taller, shorter. And I'm going to place it around the wing of the Phoenix. This one isn't quite long enough. Let's see if this one is. That one's definitely not. So I'm gonna have to modify this one. See how far we go. That's pretty good there. You know what? I think I'm just going to use this. We're only about a ½ inch shy of where I want to be, so I'm going to just use this. First thing I do, after I get everything laid out, I'm going to drag this down here for now so we get a better picture. Try to keep my hands out of the way. I'm going to start bunching up the edge of where the top of the wing is. Maybe not quite a 3/4 of an inch tall, we'll see. The reason is I want to keep this edge below the top of the plastic because we're going to use that plastic dam for a reason. I also turned off the bagpipe music. I think it may have been slowing down my signal. So I apologize, it's just me breathing here. Grab me some binder cups. For now, I'm just going to bind that up. Just to hold it in place for now. Sounds pretty elaborate, doesn't it? It's really too bad. Now is try to meet up these points. So that would be so forth and so on. I'm just going to start meeting up as many of these points as I can, using my knitting needle that slides right under that fabric very easily. I can draw that up and start bunching. I'm just going to do it by hand. Try to keep you all up. I just lost you guys again. If it doesn't work out this time, I'll just record it and try to upload it. Anyway, we're just pleating up these wings. I'm just matching up these dark lines to a point that they're all bunched up together. Close to it. Gets closer to the edge of that fabric. It's starting to really bunch up, but we're gonna work with that just like that. One of the first things I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna get a band on there just to hold it in place. Maybe a couple of bands. Just like that, just to hold it in place. I'm gonna swing the whole shirt around now. Like that, so you can see more of what I'm doing here. Does that help? So I've got all these dark lines lined up here. That's just as a reference point. Use that to stick that little guy back down in there. What I want to do now is start bunching all of this up together inside this little dam. So I'll start removing these clips. We've got this held in place just temporarily with a couple of bands, so I'm going to start removing these guys. And I'm going to bunch up this outside fabric. This is going to be the dark part outside the wings. The wings are going to be very light orange, yellow, red. But this is going to be dark background basically. So I'm just going to put some folds in there, not real elaborate. Looks like a pain in the butt, doesn't it? But you've seen my phoenixes, haven't you? Did you see the one on the thumbnail? They're pretty sweet, very popular shirt right now. Just double that band over, and I'm just going to use it to hold that in place now, because I want to focus on getting bands down around this guy, the wings. Still with me? Looks like you are. Is that better without the light table off? I'm sure it is. It's pretty bright, isn't it? You can't really see what's happening down in here. Okay. Good choice. Good call. I'm trying to tamp some of this cloth down in here, and I've got a fold that I want to pull out a little bit. I'm going to grab my hemostats and pull that wing back out of there, because he's tucked way down in there, making the guy next to him too tall. There. Putting bands around that little dam there. Come all the way down, because I want some different technique or different effects. I'm actually going to put a band around this little bunch right here. Try to do some stuff to make it look like a head of the phoenix or something, so I'm putting some extra little wrinkles in there just for the dye that we do put down there. Have it run into some interesting shapes and maybe give us some type of image of a head or top of the phoenix. So the real hard part is done. We can do with the rest of this pretty much whatever we want. I am going to make a bunch of little pleats right here to give an edge to the flames, and there's some tricks to that, my tricks. But most of the wing portion, and I just belched on live camera. I'm sorry! I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I forgot I was live. Poke these guys down in there somewhat. They're rising up pretty high. So all the way out here, I don't know if you can see it, but there's an actual seam from the sleeve as it goes all the way around the shirt. I'm going to put one more band there coming back. Actually, I'm going to put two, and I'll show you why. There's a broken band. There's a broken band. I cut these bands sometimes, and they make it back into the rubber band bowl. So I've got two bands here that I doubled up. And that's going to make this area here really, really tight. And that's going to be the very back of the wing, basically. The tips, all the tips splayed out, so like that. Anyway, you know what a wing looks like, don't you? Here is going to be the front of the shirt, this line that we marked up earlier. I'm actually going to poke around on some of these folds right here out there on the end of that tip, similar to this guy, to try to get some different effects with that fabric in dye whenever we start dyeing that. So I'm manipulating that just a little bit to try to make the body, the lower body of the Phoenix. And we did one yesterday that actually turned out, it looked like a fire-breathing dragon and that with wings, and turned out a lot more awesome than I thought it would by doing something like that, giving it texture. So I am going to do a little trick here where, because this is the very end of the wings, I'm going to push some of this fabric up inside. Try to swing it around for you guys. So I'm going to start pushing some of this fabric up into that fold. And the reason is I want it to make like a dam right here. And it won't necessarily prevent dye from making it up into the wings. I'm not worried about the yellow and orange coming out this way, but I don't want too much black to work its way up into there. So I'm trying to manipulate these folds and create a little barrier, a little dam, where it'll be the very edge of the wingtip. And it's just something I've been doing on some of these shirts with the light table. I can really see it. I don't know if you guys would be able to see the detail, but I'm just pushing. I'm trying to make this area a lot tighter. And those little dams, that fabric, extra fabric I'm shoving up in there just makes that tension on those rubber bands a lot tighter. This will probably be the last doubled over band that I put on, just to hold those little dams in place that I stuck in there. Huh, it broke. These are brand new bands. I have a big bag of bands. They're fairly cheap. Because we're going to have flames rising up, that's the part I'm going to start working on now. You guys are up close here, and for now I'm going to put a clip on this hem down here at the bottom of the shirt. And these flames are going to be lapping up at the bottom of the Phoenix, or that's the look that I want to get. So I'm just going to start making little fine bunches, but trying to keep the flames going up the shirt as much as I can. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy here. You can make it fancy. I'm going to go ahead and put a band on this part right here. Part of this we're going to actually leave white. We're not going to put any dye on it at all. And that white part really makes, well, I don't have a shirt to show you, but it really makes it look like the Phoenix coming up from a fire. The white is the white hot flames, and boy is it brilliant on the finished product. If you guys look at one of those videos, one of those other videos of where I'm dyeing the Phoenix, you'll see in the finished shirt that it's just brilliant. Brilliant. Really makes it stand out. I'm just not putting dye on there. I'm putting yellow and orange and red to a certain extent on part of this. I just want to what I call taco up on me right there. Triple that. Try to get that really tight. Try to prevent not all the dye going down into that, but some. Try that one more time to wrap it. That'll also keep all that under tension. So anywho, you're still with me, that's good. I'm going to go ahead and finish making these flames. It doesn't have to be fancy, but you want linear lines along the front, basically. I'll play with this fold right here because it's bunching up in a way that I don't want it to. Double this guy over. Now as we work up this way, we're going to have all this fabric here behind us, but it makes a little bit of a pain in the butt to put a rubber band around it, so I'm just going to go ahead and work all this into a bunch, and we'll probably loosely fold these because we're actually going to open up some of these bands in this area when we dye it, because it's just going to be dark, so they don't have to be any particular fold there. You don't want it too, inch high folds or anything, but it's not real necessary that you focus on that. I'm just putting a couple of open just the open bands on there. I'm going to swing around again. If you can see me, can you see me? Along this line that's at the very front of the shirt, I'm just going to try to bunch up some of this. Again, trying to keep some kind of a linear line going up the front. It doesn't have to be exactly even or perfect. You don't really want it that way. And this is going to be a thinner line that I'd probably use on one of my other Phoenixes, but I'm trying to get a real thin feature, not real standoutish, but so it makes this white flame hot. You'll see the orange and red moving up, and then it'll just turn into the wings, just brilliant. So this particular shirt, so you don't have to spend a lot of time trying to get all those folds right. Real loose bands here. We can always come back and manipulate this area here a little bit after we get the bands on there and under tension. Some tension. Double up a couple of bands in through here just to make sure it stays good and tight along that front side. I'm going to adjust some of these folds here. Come back closer to you, sorry. Still adapting to this, doing things live. Obviously, that's why I burped in the beginning of the video. We're about done tying this. I won't make another video of me dyeing it because there's one already out there. Actually, I think it's in 3 parts. Anyway, this is the most important part, the wing part. We've got it tied up and under some good tension there. When we go to dye it, we're just going to fill this area in here with yellow or orange, or if you want to do a blue phoenix, what some people are calling the Ice Dragon, purple. You can do whatever color you want to here. Just remember, whatever you do here, if it's a dark color, you're going to want to make this light so it stands out against the background. If you're going to do this light, you want this outside the fence, outside the gate, you want it dark. Just remember that. Okay? Any questions? That's it. That's the Phoenix. Alright. Okay. Well, happy Sunday night, folks. Hope you have a good evening. Peace, love, joy. Talk to y'all later. See ya. Bye.